Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shannon. I write under the pen name of SC Huston, and you're here on my channel under the pen name of SC Huston, where I typically publish content about my publishing, my writing, and do lots of writing sprints, lots of different types. I am also the author. I'm also the author of the Clash of Goddesses series, which is YA fantasy, and also A Curse of Scales and Feathers, which was the trailer that I played there at the beginning because today is this launch day on retail platforms. I'll touch on that in a little bit. Today's stream is about talking, doing a January wrap up, talking about my progress of my goals. I did a goals video at the beginning of the year, earlier in January, the ways of the author, or ways stands for an acronym, the different parts of my business and what I want to do and what I want to accomplish as a writer and author. So we're going to look at the progress of those goals. We're also going to, again, kind of celebrate the release of A Curse of Scales and Feathers. I'm also going to talk about some of the marketing that I'm doing to launch a full price book, because this is a different situation than it was with my other books, my YA fantasy series, and how I launched those books. And then I'm going to talk about some of the issues of going wide that I've had. That was one of my goals for last year. I started the process, and it is still continuing to be quite an issue. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But let's say hello to everybody who has come in already today. And I think there's just a few people here. Hello, RC. Thank you for coming. And Richard's coming. This is going to be fantastic. I appreciate that, Richard. And Kiko says, hello. Hey, how's it going? All right. So let me get this writer, the goals going here first. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the progress for January. And again, the ways of the author, the W stands for my writer goals. My writer goals was to have 400,000 words to finish throughout the year. So this is a yearly goal. And I put in parentheses there, finished projects. In my goals video, I did mention how I had 11 projects I started last year. And I said in my video, I said I completed 4, but I highlighted 5. So really I completed 5. So I have 6 left. So I have 6 projects left that I started last year that I would like to finish up this year. And there were a couple other little things that I really want to get started, but I don't know how that's going to work. And I honestly feel like 400,000 words to finish these 6 projects. If I finish these 6 projects, it's going to be more than 400,000 words. And I think 400,000 words is going to be a stretch. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go, where I'm going to get in that. But so far, I'm not doing so terrible with that goal. At the moment, I have 62,168 words done in January. And this is as of today. So I do have one more day left in January to add on there. And so this is like, at this point, I'm 16% of the way through 400,000 words for the year. And I did like break that out, the 400,000 words, that's 8.33% that I need to finish every month, or 1,290 words a day that I need to complete. And this is taking into account not the whole year. I am taking 8 weeks off of vacation time. Actually really taking off 9 weeks total of probably not writing, because I did not put in there any time to take off during the authortube writing conference. I did 8 weeks vacation time, but so far I think I'm okay. And January, February, March, and October and November are my months that I get my most writing done. The other months I have not written as much, at least compared to last year and even the year before, because I didn't track it the way I'm tracking it now. But I do know what I completed in which month. So I do find that those are my best months for writing. So I feel that I'm going to get a lot done writing for these next couple months. But then there's going to be those months coming up, come April, May, June, especially around the authortube writing conference. I am not going to get much writing done. In fact, last year in June, I did not write a single day. I did write every month, at least one day, except for June. June was the only month I did not write in at all. So I do see that slowing down quite a bit. All that in January, yes, 62,000. Yeah, but it's going to slow down because I know that other parts of my author business are going to take over. So even though it feels really good right now, I need to remind myself that this is not something that's sustainable, because I do have other things I need to do throughout the year that's going to take more of my time. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. All right. So next, did I have another point I wanted to make on there? Oh, yeah, I wanted to put up my list of projects because I did mess that up on my goals video. Find the right button. So my projects, here we go. I need to take off that banner though. Let me take the banner off. So these are the projects I had left over that I started last year. So I had Bryn and Lizzie's alternate story, which is now called Dark Scales and Lovely Roses. I did finish that on Saturday. I'm in the process of revising and editing it. I'm hoping to get it done and out. That was due to my Kickstarter backers as part of my Kickstarter because we hit a goal amount. I actually did put it as part of a special edition paperback or not paperback, hardback as well. But I didn't think anybody was going to get it. That was my personal thought. But people did buy it. So I think I have like 6 people who got it. So there are people who are waiting for me to get that done and format it and put it into a hardback edition and send that to them. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to put up, I did a cover as well with this. For those who have not been in my my streams in the morning, you wouldn't have seen this, but I did do a cover with it as well. So this is Dark Scars and Lovely Roses. This is Bryn and Lizzie's alternate point of view story. It was just going to be called Bryn and Lizzie. And I had a picture of 2 characters I thought that looked kind of like them. It wasn't exact. And that's what I was going to use. But after it became a novel and not a short story as I originally planned, I figured it needed to have a little bit more in there. So, okay. So Bryn and Lizzie's alternate story, that one is pretty much done. I'm just editing and revising it now. Aquawag, that is the second book of my series, is about a third of the way done. I'm hoping to start that in February, start back in on it in February. The next book in the series is Aquasas. I'm hoping to finish Aquawag before June, so that I can start working on Aquasas after that. I still have the, it's a placeholder title, author newsletters, because I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but that's my nonfiction title. TMB, which is also a placeholder. I can call it my strange novel because I don't know where it fits in everywhere, but I'm going to finish it as well. I actually did some brainstorming on it today. And then Fotbab or however was it, A Piece of the Blood of the Broken, which is going to be a standalone novel. It's the story of a character that briefly appears in my second book of my series, and she's going to appear a lot more strongly in the third book. A lot of her scenes are already written in my head, and a lot of her book is already written. But yeah, so I'm hoping that I'm going to get, 1 is going to be done for sure, 2 is going to be done for sure, 3 I'm hoping is going to be done, 4 I definitely want to get done, 5 I've already bought the cover for that one, so I don't know. And then if something does not get done, it's going to be 5 and 6 that are going to fall off. But the rest of these I'm hoping to get done this year. Like I said, that 400,000 word goal, I think, will cover at least these first 3. So if I can get more than that out of me, that will be great. Okay. Oh, you didn't see that yet? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did show it in my morning stream. I think I showed it twice, but it could have been when you weren't there. So looks beautiful. Yeah, I love it. So beautiful. Are all these going to be spicy? So let me go back and look. What do I have? Okay, so Bryn and Lizzie's is spicy. Yes, it's spicy. I don't have anything spicy yet in Aquawag, but it's going to be there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be there. I mean, in my head, I have it there, but it's not out yet, like in the story. So maybe it may work in there or not. I do feel that it's going to. Aquasas is definitely going to be spicy because those 2 characters, they are, yeah. Of course, you know, my nonfiction title is not going to have any spiciness. And hold on, I can't see what else I got there. Wrong button. My strange novel, TMB, is probably borderline erotica. And then, yeah, the last one will be spicy as well. That one's based off of, she's the first vampire. And I haven't written, I mean, yeah, no, it's going to be. I've written a scene that's not spicy, but it's brutal. But yeah. Yeah, it could be I have sometimes work around the time of the streams, like Mondays. Yeah. Yeah, I probably showed it just at the times you weren't there because I've showed it. I think I've shown it twice. Yeah. Alrighty, let's move on. I got to take this off. Go back to my banner so I can stay on track. Author goals. So those are my writer goals. I just had the one writer goal, which is 400,000 words, which in that goal is to hopefully complete these projects I have ongoing. The other thing that I don't have in there, and that's if I can get it going, is I'm building a town. I only have part of the town put together. I know there's 4 quadrants to it. I know each one is for a different season. It's in the same world as a Curse of Scales and Feathers, the same world as that. But it is a town that you can't get to there. It's not easy to get to, and people don't really know about it. So it has like a small town feel to it. And I want that to be a series of short, small town, epic fantasy, steamy romances. So I don't know. We'll see if I can get there. I don't know. All right. Next is author goals, which is my first one for the year was to go wide with Aquasoft. So as of today, it is published on retailers, on all the platforms. You can get it in many different places as an ebook. I want to drop the link in the chat. I'm not as good at doing this as like Margaret. She's like great at dropping links at the same time she's talking. Curse of Scales and Feathers. So there's the link where it's at everywhere. So you can get the ebook pretty much everywhere. Paperback, not as much. Therein lies the issue. So it is on Amazon, but first it was on my website, and I did it through the beta feature that Ingram Spark has. It's only available to U.S. authors at this time and only for U.S. buyers. And I really like the idea that, someone could go and buy it and they collect all the money, they collect the taxes, they collect the shipping fees, and they ship it out directly to that person. The only thing that I had to do was set it up and then I get the money. So I liked that idea versus me putting up like a PayPal link or using PayHip has it as well. I'm using PayHip for my store where I just say, I have 10 books in my inventory. Someone buys it, that lets me know someone bought a book, and then I have to take my book and go take it down to the post office and mail it off. So I found it much easier to go through Ingram. But I felt what I was going to do with the paperback was going to be, and so I'm touching on the issues I'm having with going wide. So did I have this like later? I think I did have this point for later, but that's okay. No, I didn't. I had it now. Okay. So the issues that I'm having with it is that I went to go through Draft to Digital to put the paperback out wide everywhere else. And so I went, updated the title because the ebook is already on Draft to Digital to be, distributed out to other platforms. And I started getting the title up there and I submitted it to Draft to Digital, and they came back and they said, no, this ISBN is being used already. You can't use it. You got to use a different one. I'm like, well, no, that's my ISBN. I bought it. And they kept coming back and forth. So, no, the ISBN, you need to get a new one. You got to buy a new one, or you've got to let us give you an ISBN. We'll give you an ISBN. I'm like, I don't want a different ISBN. I have my own ISBN. So I had text Dale L. Roberts. He's a good friend of mine. And I said, does this sound right to you? Because I went 2 weeks back and forth with the Draft to Digital people, them saying, you need your own ISBN if that's what you want to do. And I do own my own ISBN. I paid for it. It's a lot of money. And he said, what it is that they use the same printing distribution. So since I already had it with Ingram Spark, it looked like it was duplicating it. And I'm like, well, that's an issue. They should know this, that, I'm not distributing it through Ingram. I'm only using the beta feature for direct sales. They call it share and sell is what they're calling that feature on Ingram Spark. So I'm not distributing it to retailers. It was just share and sell, which is a different feature altogether. So I should be able to distribute it to other people through Draft to Digital. And Dale said, yeah, that's a known issue with Draft to Digital, that they're not talking very well to each other. So I was like, okay, fine. That just kind of forces me to go ahead and then use Ingram Spark to distribute my book out everywhere. I didn't want to go through them. I wanted to go through Draft to Digital because I really like a lot of things that Draft to Digital stands for, but I'm not going to stop. In order for me to use Draft to Digital, I couldn't sell my book direct on my website. And I was not going to stop doing that. Okay, so then I went back to Ingram Spark a few weeks ago to get my book distributed out as a paperback and a hardback through Ingram Spark. And I stopped at the paperback because my paperback was gone. My share and sell link to buy the paperback is still there, but it's not in my book titles on the back end. And I thought, well, maybe it's just having issues. So I waited a day, went back in there. No, okay, maybe they're updating systems because I've heard stuff like this happens. Waited 2 days. Finally, I sent them a message. You're like, oh, well, you're selling this through Draft to Digital. And I'm like, no, I'm not. They wouldn't let me sell it. They're like, well, they have the title. I'm like, they don't. They never accepted it. You have the title. They told me I had to transfer it from you guys to them in order to sell it. And I said, no, I was not going to do that. And they said, well, they have the title. And Draft to Digital, I went to them and they said, no, we don't have the title. So now my book is like nowhere. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I had to just restart it again on Ingram Spark. I have no idea. So those are the issues with me trying to go wide. And all these things you don't know that happen on the back end because these companies are not talking to each other. So anyways, I'm going to get all worked up about it. Oh, yes. Thank you, Richard, for dropping that. You had it quick. Woohoo. Congrats. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. What? Yeah. These print on demand, so complicated for no good reason. So stressful. It is very stressful. And I even text back to Dale. I was like, it's no wonder authors just stick with Amazon because I had no issues with Amazon. I uploaded my book. They didn't say my title was taken somewhere else. They didn't tell me I couldn't have my ISBN or how to get a new one. Nothing. They just accepted it. It was there. It's good. It's up for sale. I've had no issues. So it's just, there was one thing that came up, but I was able to get right into their chat feature. They told me what I need to fix it, it was done. Not the same thing with Ingram Spark or Draft to Digital. Both of them had to send an email and had to wait, 24 to 72 hours to get a response. So, and then go back and forth. Like, no, I bought this ISBN, it's fine. So yeah, Amazon, it just gets it done. That's why I'm like, it's no wonder authors just feel comfortable staying there because you don't have all these issues. And at the moment, I can't get my paperback anywhere else because there's only Ingram Spark. Well, and there's more other places. You've got Lulu, you've got Book Vault, you've got there's a couple other ones, but the rates are not as good. Or upload fees. Book Vault has upload fees. There's other ones you can go through, but it's just not as a good of a program or process to go through. And I can only imagine of those being smaller companies, how much or how many more issues they're going to be trying to get my book to go wide if I choose any of those other platforms. And I don't know if they do distribute to all the same places that Draft to Digital and Ingram Spark cover. Yep. Sorry, I'm supporting the evil empire. In the beginning, I tried Ingram Spark and their whole interface made me cry. And then I went to support and the agent was really nasty. So I just stick with Amazon and my life is not as stressful. I haven't had the nastiness yet, but once I told Ingram that the title's not with Draft to Digital, that I never changed because they told me I had to change from them and that I want to stick with them, they never responded ever again. They just dropped it. And I said, they don't have the title. And I responded again. I was like, hello, Draft to Digital does not have the title. They say I checked with them. They don't have it. And they just didn't respond. And so I'm like, okay. So I don't know now if this is going to be like 2 weeks before I get a response because they were responding within that 24 to 72 hour period. And it's been 3 days now and they haven't responded. Ingram Spark is awful. Okay, your book's published. Good luck. That's so unprofessional or not professional. Yeah. So unprofessional, not professional. Yep. Okay. So those are my issues with trying to go wide. The ebook is out there everywhere, but it's yeah. Otherwise, the paperback is right now. The paperback and the hardback is with Amazon only. The paperback is on my website, but even though it still shows the link where you can go and you can purchase it, I'm wondering if it actually works. Since my title does not exist in Ingram Spark on the back end, I don't know if that actually still works. So I wanted to do, I talked about going wide and using this share and sell feature in December, I think it was. And I said, I still need to do my hardback. And so I was like, oh, I love that video. And I was going to do it. But with all these issues, I'm like, I'm just backing off for the moment until figure out exactly what I need to do. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Let's go to the, go wide with ACOSAF. So that's, I had four author goals. Go wide with ACOSAF, 1 to 2 Kickstarters, publish nonfiction book, publish TMB. TMB is that strange novel that's borderline erotica. Right now those other 3 goals, they're not in the works. I can't do a Kickstarter until I finish my books. And then the nonfiction book and TMB are at the bottom of the list of things I'm going to get done as far as writing, but they are hopefully what I'm going to get done this year. All right, so let's move on to YouTube goals. So my YouTube goals, I had 3: produce and host 2024 AWC, continue accountability streams, continue self-publishing tips and tricks. Pretty easy for those. Produce and hosted 2024 AWC, that's AuthorTube Writing Conference. Margaret and I, we just finished our first round of the application reviews. Everything looks great. We actually have some really great, I love a lot of the proposals that we received this year compared to like last year. I liked what we had last year, but this year I'm reading them. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. So I'm actually in the process now. It's on me. Margaret and I, we kind of split up the tasks and it's on me right now. I am cleaning out and stripping out all the identifying information in the proposal pitches to put together to give to our proposal reviewers so that they can order them in the number that they like. And we try to do that as a blind process. So they don't know who is doing which pitch. So I'm in the process of pulling out and stripping out the information right now. That's due to Margaret this weekend. And then it's her job then to get it to the proposal reviewers and keep on them to get the responses back. And Margaret and I will also at that time rate each of the proposals as well. And then we'll do all the numbers. We put all the numbers together, average it out, and then talk it through. Obviously, there's a little bit more that goes into it than that, because we have, I don't know, we have like 3 or 4 people who submitted multiple presentations. And I think we even have one person who submitted like 5 pitches. And it's so funny. Like, well, one, I know she submitted 2, and both Margaret and I were like, we want both of these. So, yeah, so there's going to be a lot of figuring out what are we going to do when that happens. But yeah, that is on its way. I'm right now in talks with a keynote speaker, possibly. We had one, they fell out. I'm in talks with another one. They're due back to give me a response here in the next week. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll have to move on to the next one. We do have a keynote speaker in the back pocket. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but if what we're going for doesn't work out, this person said that they would step in and be the keynote speaker. So we do have some in the back pocket, but we're hoping that we can get one of these other companies. So, all right. Accountability streams. I've done my accountability streams in January like I wanted, and not doing accountability streams in February. And I totally forgot this when I was doing my goals video, because I had been planning this since September of last year, that I knew that I wanted to do, and I didn't have it named yet. I just knew I was going to try and bring on a fantasy romance author every day and do a writing sprint, but have some fun, and I didn't know what that looked like exactly until I started putting it together in December. And then I don't think I even came up with a name until the end of December. And then I start reaching out to authors. But I've got 22 authors lined up for that's 1 author a day in February. So that's basically a week off. I am going to be releasing the full calendar tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow I'm releasing the full calendar so you can see who's coming in. And there's some really great authors coming in. There's some I've never known. There's some that like my 22nd author just came through, and I didn't think I would get her. Like, I just finished reading another one of her books, and I absolutely love her writing. And so I was just gushing about her latest book that I read, and I wrote back, I get her newsletter. So I replied to her newsletter, and I was like, I know this is kind of a long shot, but and she just came through. She's my 22nd author. She's toward the end of the month, but yeah, I can't wait to share some of those. I'm so excited for some of these authors coming on, and then I'll probably go back to the accountability streams. So got some more comments here. Yeah, I do have that one book that's kind of on borderline erotica, but I mean, it's still, I like to write about damaged characters. And so that kind of comes from that. Hi, Leslie. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I hope all is well. Oh, hey, Rachel. Rachel's actually my first author for Charm Chats and Happily Ever After Sprints on Thursday. And Rachel, I just realized this morning, I sent an email yesterday to you to remind you of our show on Thursday, and I went to go send the email out today to my second author, and I had her time on your email. So I sent you another email to say, like, I gave you the wrong time. I'm sure you're probably looking at that and you're like, that's not the time I chose. So just want to let you know there were 2 in there. Brian Cohen, though I know he's very busy. So he is our special, a special guest speaker. So as far as the keynote speaker, I had certain parameters that I was trying to meet this year, and that has made it hard. So my first year, our keynote speaker was Dale L. Roberts, who is a self-publisher. Our second year was Draft to Digital, which is a company that works for self-publishers. So this year, I wanted a company or individual that either was someone who their YouTube channel and their audience was built around writers, or it was a traditionally published author, or a company that provides services for writers and or authors of all kinds. So that's what I kind of went. So I'm not gonna put the company out there on blast. So the first keynote speaker we had was they were all for it. They said yes. They asked me some questions. I answered them. I was like, hey, could you send us your logo? And we'd like to do an official video, say you're a keynote speaker, and then nothing. So, and I gave a deadline. I always give a deadline whenever I send these emails. So then I sent another email toward the deadline. In a deadline, I was like, hey, the deadline's almost coming up. Are you still interested in being the keynote speaker? We have not heard from you. Nothing. So, and I waited a week after the deadline passed, and then I just wrote back and I said, okay, due to no response, no communication, we will have to move on because we can't trust that you will be our keynote speaker. No response to that either. And this was a company that almost every writer uses. Like, people talk about it all the time. They use it. They use it in their writing process. So I was really sorely disappointed that they fell out like that and just never responded again. So, but the next company I reached out to is someone who works with authors, and it could be authors in general, just any author, whether they're traditionally published or indie published. So I'm trying to be as inclusive as possible with, I don't want everything to be centered around self-publishing, even though that's what I do. I want the the conference to be for writers and publishers of all kinds. So yeah, one a day keeps something at bay. I'm number one. Yes, you are. It's fine. I still have the first email. It's in my phone calendar. I can't on Thursday have a uni around the time. Oh, I'm sorry, Kiko. I mean, you can catch the replay if it interests you to hear me and Rachel talk. And the game we're playing is, what do you call it? Something. How did I forget my own game name? It's Balderdash, but with titles and romance, fantasy romance edition. But I feel like I'm missing a word in there. So it's going to be lots of fun doing that. Oh, I got it. I don't know what I said that prompted that. Oh, wait, it's around 6 p.m. my time. I do. Oh, okay. We'll see you there. As long as no one does their presentation from their bed again. Yeah. Oh, a friend of mine, Safa Burnell, might be able to get a small press your info for your next time. Oh, that would, Rachel, might be like a small. I mean, the other thing about the keynote speaker is that they need to have a YouTube channel. And it would be nice if they had a bit of a following on the YouTube channel. So it's not like they have 1 follower or 2 followers. Like we have taken some guest speakers in the past that just started their YouTube channel. But I mean, the keynote speaker is kind of someone who has an audience that, the audience is not, it's part of bringing awareness to the AWC, but it's also another way of showing, here's the audience that I'm reaching so that we know that who they're reaching. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't feel like I'm making sense with that. So the audience is an indicator that what they would be talking about during the AWC would meet the mission of the AWC. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. Have you tried Atticus formatting software? I have tried. Are you asking if I've tried the software or if I had tried reaching out to the company? That's another option if you're running out of ideas. So I did reach out to Dave Chesson, who is, part of that formatting. And he said, I'm not doing conferences online anymore. And then he was in the next online conference I went to. So I was like, okay, whatever. And it was a live online conference, but maybe he just wasn't doing anymore. I don't know. Whatever it is, they already turned me down. So it's a mad gap. Yeah, but it's why I'm trying to build my channel this year. Gotcha. I understand. I understood. Okay. Atticus has a YouTube channel all about how to use it. So not sure if that counts. Yeah. I mean, I reached out to Dave Chesson and I'm pretty sure I had Atticus. Dave Chesson, it's Kindlepreneur. Does Atticus have their own YouTube channel? It's Kindlepreneur, I believe. Or do they have their own? But whoever I reached out to, I don't think it was Dave Chesson himself who wrote me back, but I do remember, I think Atticus was part of the signature blog or something, because I talked about Atticus and how that was really good for authors. Because I wasn't reaching out to Dave Chesson as the self-publisher, but as I don't even remember now. I don't know what I'm saying. Hello, Deidre. Dropping by, say hi, reaching out. Aw, boo. Yeah. Congrats on the retail store releases. Thank you, Deidre. Okay, let's move on to the next part. YouTube goals. Okay, accountability streams. So yeah, doing something a little bit different for February, but come March and April, I'll be back to the accountability streams. Hopefully, I did accountability streams for most of the year last year, and it worked out fine, but I wasn't always writing. And this year, I'm trying to make sure that my accountability streams are for my writing. If it's not going to be that, I'm going to call it something else. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And of course, continue my podcast, which I'm continuously growing that, and it is growing. I mean, it's here on YouTube, but it is also on other podcast platforms, and we're over 100 followers now between all the different platforms, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, banners. Self-care goals. So I had 2 self-care goals for the year. One was take 8 weeks vacation, and the other one was move more. So the first one with 8 weeks vacation, I've already done my first 2 weeks was beginning of January. Then I was trying to think about doing one every quarter, but my next one I'm going to do in March. It's just the same quarter, but it's going to be the last week in March. So I will be taking a week off. So I won't be doing accountability streams that week. And it coincides with my son's spring break. So going into the next quarter, I'll be coming fresh off of a break. So part of my goals, my progression, my goals for that was actually picking the time that I was taking that vacation time off. I'm trying to take some vacation time every quarter so that I don't burn out, because I burnt out at the end of last year and kind of crashed. I was pretty much done by the time we hit December. So, and of course, Move More is my other one. And I have, through January, added another day going to the gym. I've really enjoyed that. So I'm continuing that through February. And I have tried throughout my streams. I'm not always successful, but during my accountability streams, I try to take some time to go and move and get up and walk around instead of sitting at my desk the whole time. So I've done pretty good with that. All right. There were other goals that I did not put into my video that I thought about later. I was like, oh, well, so there's 3 of these. One is a goal that kind of carry over from last year. And I know I didn't say this one on purpose, which is learn Facebook ads, because I wanted to do that last year and I ran out of time. And I still would love to do Facebook ads, especially now, since I am not in Kindle Unlimited anymore. My options for promoting my books are a little bit different. And because I did launch my book, A Curse of Scales and Feathers, at full price, I'm going to talk about that next here. And my marketing, I do need to think about different ways to market my book. So I really wanted to get into Facebook ads. Another thing that I didn't say that I should have put into my goals, and I didn't put it in for the same reason I didn't say it last year. There was one goal last year I didn't say, which was I wanted to do a Kickstarter. And I didn't say it because I was afraid that if I did, that I'd jinx myself. And I don't know why, but instead of even saying it, I didn't say it at all, that I had a goal that I was reaching for. But I do have another goal, which is to get onto Ream, which is a platform for authors. It is made by authors, and it's similar to Patreon or Ko-fi. It is a subscription platform. We've talked about it on the podcast a few times. We've had people in the community who are on Ream, like Inca. Rachel D. Adams just got onto Ream this week. I'm actually going through the class that they have, so I'm part of their second cohort because they're in their second year of being a company. And I really think that subscriptions, I think, are the way of the future. I know a lot of people are upset by subscriptions, but if you look at our life, everything is subscriptions. We have, TV subscriptions, Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all of those. And then you've got KU, which is a subscription platform. And then you even have Kindle, which is a different type of subscription platform. And then you have Kobo Writing Life, which just started a subscription platform. Spotify, which is a subscription platform that's now working with Findaway Voices to do books through subscriptions. And so it's kind of everywhere. So I think subscriptions are kind of where the future is going. I think people are going to get more and more comfortable with subscription platforms. And not only that, I feel that it is a better way of connecting with readers and seeing what it is they like about your writing. Because if someone buys your book off Amazon, you don't know if they like it unless they leave a review, but you don't know if they're one of the ones that bought it or they got it from somewhere else if you do other things. Or if they don't leave a review, you don't know if they liked it, or if they did like it, what did they like about it? What didn't they not like about it? So I kind of like this idea of being able to interact with my audience a little bit more. And to be honest, the one thing I've set up my tiers. It's not live yet. My Ream is not live, but it's almost there. I've set up my page and I just had a review of all my tiers. My favorite, the thing that I'm getting most excited about, which I don't know if it's even going to work, but my highest tier, I don't remember what it's at. I think it's at, I don't know. I think it's either $29.99 or $39.99. I don't know. It's one of those two. I hadn't decided exactly on the price. I think I dropped it to $29.99. But in that one, that's the tier where I will work directly with my audience, whoever wants to be in that one, to create this small town or these small town epic fantasy steamy romances are going to happen. So they're going to have a lot of say in helping me build that town. And that's why I've only built up parts of it in my mind, because I would love to work with people to see what is it that they would be looking for, and then jump off with those ideas from there. So it's kind of like having brainstorming buddies, I guess. I'm excited about that one. The other goals that I didn't put in there were like my reading goals, and I wanted to bring up the books that I have actually read already, but I didn't have time to bring those up. But I've never set reading goals before, but I did sit back and wonder what did I read last year? Like, what does my reading look like? I know I read a lot. I know I get through books really quickly when I read. So I sat down and I found out, got all my books, and I wrote down my whole list. And I had 104 books that I read last year. And most of those, I have to look at my list again. I think it was 104 ebooks and then 4 audiobooks. And no, maybe my 104 was my total. Anyways, it was over 100 books that I've read last year. And there was paperbacks, ebooks, audiobooks in there, things like that. And so I thought, I kind of want to be more intentional about my reading list and what I'm choosing. And so I know that I want to continue reading books in my genre. I've already read 3 this year. I kind of had a reading slump. I had one that I finished. There were 2 books I started last year that didn't finish until January 2nd, January 3rd. Those were my genre. One of those is the author that's coming on next month that I was really excited about to get. Yeah, so I read those 2. And then I was like in a reading slump. I started like 5 different books and I couldn't get into any of those books. And it wasn't that those books were bad. Sometimes you can get in a book because it's not very good. I just was like in a reading slump. Like I could not get into the story, any of the stories. But I just did read a book. I started it on Wednesday and finished it on Thursday or Friday last week. So finished that. So that's 3 books in my genre. I want to read more books about writing, craft, marketing, selling books. I have 2 on the list right now during the summer that I'm going to read. I'm also doing the Black AuthorTube Readathon, which is hosted by Margaret. She's done it for 3 years. This is the 3rd year. I've been part of it every year that she's done it. I'm going to drop this link into the chat because we would definitely love people to join us for this. If you want to, read along with us. You don't have to put yourself on the sheet if you don't want to, but you can read along with us. And then we're all supposed to do videos about what we're reading. And some of us are reading books together. So we'll be on one or the other channel. Usually I go to other people's channels to do the Black AuthorTube Readathon because I've not ever really been a channel that's reviewed books before. But I have been getting into it a little bit more. And of course, I'm having fantasy romance authors all next month that we're going to be talking about books. So getting a little bit more into it. So I have 4 books I think I'm signed up for on there. But I'm going to add a 5th one. And we'll see if I'll get through all of them. So, yeah. Intentionality. All right. Let's going to move on to the last topic to round everything up for the day. Let me see where we left off here. It's a great number. It's a great idea. I don't know what that's a reference to. I'm so sorry. I don't know, Deidre, if you're still here. I lost it. I lost the thread. I'm probably saying too much and not keeping up with it. And great number, 104 books. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to be more intentional about the numbers that I'm having this year, the numbers I'm going to go through. And see, even with what I just said, there is yet another book I'm reading in February because I'm going to be on Nia, Vixen of Fiction's channel. That's going to be is it the 18th? Yeah, it's the 18th. I'm going to be on her channel. And we're going to talk about, it's for scripting the book. And we're going to talk about the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, which I've seen the movie before, but I've never read the book. And so I'm going to read the book. So that's another book I'm reading in February. So there's a lot of books I'm reading in February about Ream world building. Oh, okay. Thank you. I lost it because I was like, what did I say? Because I know I said a lot. Yeah, I love, and that's what the thing I'm the most excited about is working with people and building these short, small town epic fantasy romances and working with actual readers and seeing what they want. I'm excited about that. I don't know if anyone's ever going to buy it though. So right now I'm thinking, yeah, no one's going to buy it. Who wants to pay $29 a month or whatever it is to do that? I mean, that's not the only benefit. Every tier, I did it like my Kickstarter. Not every author does it the same way with their tiers, but a lot of them do, where every tier builds on the one that comes prior to it. So like my first tier is just early access to the current book in my series, which is my second book in the series. And then the next tier up is access to all of my the ebook library for as long as they're members. And then the next one up, that's when you start getting like monthly mail and things like that. And then the last one is the one where it's a monthly Zoom call, or I don't know if I'll do Zoom. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but it's going to be a monthly call with me. And then we'll also do some polls and some brainstorming on different names and building this world up and stories. So, hello, you'd be surprised. Yeah, maybe people may subscribe just to support you. I think if someone subscribes just to support me, they'll probably support me at the lowest tier, not that high tier. that would be my thought anyways. So, but yeah. All right, last thing that I want to talk about. What did I do to launch my book at full price, or what I did to launch my book at full price? So for those who, like, I don't know if Richard's still here, but some of the people who have been here from the very beginning when I launched my very first book, my debut novel, Blood or Lily, all the way through the full series, the 3 books, Soul of a Rose and Tears of the Marigold, I like, what word am I trying to think of? I didn't videotape. I recorded. I recorded everything that I did. And I made videos. I said, okay, this is what I did during my launch. Okay, this is how much I paid. This is how much I made. This is how many books I sold. This is how many books I had downloaded. Here are my overall figures. So I was very detailed about everything I was doing. But I launched my books at reduced and free prices. So when I launched my debut, it was launched at 99 cents. I did a bunch of promo stacking. I got a lot of those, like the Fussy Librarian. I did a lot of these that you can get to promo stack throughout a week or 2 weeks. And I did like a book tour, a book blog tour, the second week of Blood of the Lily. And then when I launched the second book in the series, Blood of the Lily was free for that first week and then 99 cents. And when I launched the third book, then Blood of the Lily was free that first week and then 99 cents the second week. And the second book was 99 cents both weeks. So, and I think I launched the third book at $1.99. So it's reduced prices, right? So again, I was able to promo stack and do all these things to get eyes on my books. And it was a lot of money. I think altogether, when I look at my marketing, I think my marketing dollars is just over $1,000 is what I spent for all three books, for all three launches, and for Amazon ads that I've run almost continuously. I only shut Amazon ads off for like 4 months last year. But otherwise, so all the marketing dollars, that includes all of that. It also includes my story origin that I pay, which was like $100 and some for the year. So it includes a lot of stuff, all the stuff that I was paying to market this series. But when you launch a book at full price, you can't do a lot of those things. You can't get most of those book promotions. They don't even allow you to get it unless your book is a certain price. I think some of them will go as low or as high, as like $2.99. But I knew that I was not launching my book at any reduced price. And the thinking for me on this is that this was a Kickstarter book, which, by the way, I didn't show it off, but I do have it here. So here's the paperback or the hardback cover book. But this is the one that's for my Kickstarter. So it doesn't have the one that you could get online now, or it doesn't have the same stuff in it as my Kickstarters, because it is a special edition for them. I mean, it's not called special edition, but it is special. Like they have artwork in the middle that they voted on the artwork to have done for the book. But yeah, so the way I looked at it is they paid full price for the book. I did not want to launch my book at a reduced price because I felt like that was kind of like, well, I just didn't feel right about it being full price for my Kickstarter people, my backers, and then launch it at a reduced price because they could have just waited and got it at a reduced price. Now, the other side of that is some people say, and this is kind of how you think about subscriptions, what they actually paid for was early access. I mean, they got access to the book in August of last year versus now in January when everybody else is getting. Plus, they also get that artwork, which is not in the books that you can buy now. So there is something to be said with that. But in my mind right now, at least, the book is going to be, it's $4.99. I didn't want to launch it at a reduced price. So what do you do if you're launching a book at full price? How do you get the word out there? Because the whole idea of doing these promos is to get the word out there and get eyes on your book, because it's that visibility, especially with all the books that are out there now. You got to get that visibility in order to sell more books. So that can be kind of hard to do if you're not launching at a reduced price. I hit the comments here real quick since there was a few. Richard says, I am here. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've been here from the beginning when I sold my first book. And Kiko says, hello, woohoo, gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, I really like it. Charge what you're worth. Your art is worth $4.99 for the ebook. People buy Starbucks for more, and that's a one-time kind of deal. Ebooks last so much longer. Yeah. True. Agree. Beautiful artwork. Yeah, I love the artwork. So I launched at a full price. So what did I do to bring eyes to my book? Obviously, I did put it up for a pre-order. I didn't really it was more of a soft launch on the pre-order. I kind of put it out there in a couple streams, say, hey, I got the pre-order up. I kind of felt like everybody in my audience on YouTube, my newsletter, like if they wanted the book, they already got it during the Kickstarter. So I didn't feel like I was going to be reaching to new people. And I only had one pre-order, at least on Amazon. I could see I had one pre-order. Drafted Digital, they don't show you your pre-orders. There's no way to see it. And I don't know if it says it's live. And so I'm assuming since it's live now on Draft to Digital and all these places, that if there were pre-orders, I would see it. I show no orders through Draft to Digital and their distribution platform. On Amazon, I had that one order this morning. I mentioned it in my stream this morning. I was like, yeah, I've got the one order. And that's all I had. But I did check stuff when I was waiting for my son's bus before the stream here. And I had a few more orders of ebooks. So I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome. So I do have a few orders. But okay, so what did I do? So there were 2 things that I did that were free, and three things that cost money. And actually, there's a little more in there. I'm still doing like the Story Origin. I put my book up for reviews on Story Origin, but that doesn't start until February, so that hasn't really brought any eyes. Now, I did put it on Story Origin. I had to put the book up as a review book before putting it into a promotion. So I did that, and I already had 3 people sign up to review it, and it hasn't even been in a promotion yet. So now it's in a promotion starting 1 February. So that will get eyes on it. That will help, anything that helps get eyes on it. If people read it, they like it, they might buy other books from you. They may also hopefully review it, which will help to get even more eyes on it, because that's going to bump the algorithm in Amazon and other places. So there's that. So I did that, but I already paid for Story Origin. That wasn't like a new cost that I had to do. So I'm already doing that. The things that I did for free. So library thing. For those who have seen some of my past videos, library thing is something I've talked about before, and I actually did bring it up in a podcast episode not too long ago. So library thing is it's basically like an online library, and there the readers, it's actually more for readers than it is for writers or authors. But authors can put their books up there, but the books usually sometimes already exist there, and readers will talk about the books and things like that. It's not like a Goodreads. People don't really. The main idea is not to review. They do have a review system, but people really talk about it in forums. They talk about books. They talk about the books themselves in forums, but not rate it and review it in the forums. But what they have is this thing called Early Reviewer, and it's free. You can use it for free. I used it with Blood of the Lily. And what it is basically, it's like a giveaway feature. But the idea is that whoever gets the book will leave a review on Library Thing. So they're not pushed to leave a review anywhere else. But you can send, when you do your email to send them your book, you can say, hey, if you wouldn't mind leaving a review in these other places. So when I did it with my debut novel, you can give, at that time, you could give away 50 copies. And I think I had like 20 some people sign up. All 20 people won the copy. And I had several of them leave reviews. And one left a review on Library Thing, and several other, like 3 or 4 of them left a review on other places, but not on Library Thing. So it worked out. It was fine. So I thought I'm going to do that with A Curse of Scales and Feathers. So it signed up. It's not going out until February 1st. Now I did just do it with my novella, and it just went out. The winners just got it. And I had, I don't remember, over 50 people signed up to get the book for the Sunstone and the Hybrid Prince, which is the novella, prequel novella for this. And of course, not all of them want it. So that's getting just more eyes on my book and people getting interested in it. So that's free. And you sign up for that within the month prior that you want to have it done. It always goes out on the 1st. And it has to be within 6 months of publication of your book. So because it is called Early Reviewer. So it's technically supposed to be before your book comes out, but you can do it within 6 months before or after, I believe. I know it's 6 months after. I don't know how far in advance you can do it. But yeah. Okay, so that was free. The other thing that I did for free was BookBub new release alert. Now, I've talked about this in previous episodes on my channel, and I think I've talked about it in a podcast episode as well. But BookBub, if you're an author, you want to make sure you go claim your author profile, claim your books. You can start growing your following. It's part of my newsletter, my author newsletter. Like every sequence that I have built up, all of my automations, there is one in which I talk about BookBub. I'm like, hey, do you know what BookBub is? It is a place where readers can find books that they like. And that is a place for readers. It's not for authors. Authors go there and claim their books. That's about it. You can't do anything else really as an author. As a reader, you can review other books on there. But BookBub is also very discerning in what they'll promote, except for when it comes to that free thing. There's 2 different things I'm going to talk about, and the names are so close it can be confusing. This one is called BookBub New Release Alert. So it's free. It goes out to your followers, but it only goes out, don't know why, but it only goes out to your US followers. So like, I think I have 800 plus followers and only 260 of them are in the US. So, and I also, when I talk about BookBub in my newsletter, I was like, hey, I would love it if you go sign up and follow me, so that way it's a way to get, and I by doing that, I get a new follower for my BookBub. I get 1 to 2 every 1 to 2 weeks. Very slow building, but it's getting out there. So there's that. That was free. So that went out. I got approved for that. Went out. I think as long as you do that in time, you get approved for it. It's that's not harder. What's harder to get approved for are the things that you have to pay for. So the other thing, so the first thing that I paid for was a BookBub new releases for less alert. So this one I applied for with Love the Lily. I did not get it. I did get it for A Curse of Scales and Feathers, and it went out. They said I won't get any stats or figures for 7 days after it goes, from the day that it goes out, and it went out today. So that was expensive. That's probably the most expensive thing that I paid for. That was $290. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. Hi, Rachel. Hashtag SHU, Stream Hoppers Unite, hug and like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. The next thing I paid for was a book sweeps giveaway. And that was supposed to conclude yesterday, I believe. But they extended it by a couple days. And basically, book sweeps, what they do is they, then all the people who sign up for it, I'll get all their email addresses and I can add them to my newsletter list. But usually that type of promotion and getting emails that way, they're not the best subscribers. Excuse me, because they don't necessarily they're not necessarily signing up because of you. They're signing up for the giveaway. So I have found in the past, of course, those are not the best subscribers, but I'm still getting eyes on my book. And that's the biggest thing too. That cost $50 and they extended it for a couple of days. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how it will work out. We'll see. I thought that with it ending yesterday, that people who didn't get it, if they saw it and they really liked it, then they would buy the book today that it came out. But since they extended it for 2 days, I don't know if I will be able to see that bump in a couple of days or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But in the giveaway, only the main winner, so it's just one winner, will win your book. So not everybody who signs up gets the book. And there's like 50 books or something like that in the promo. But only one person gets all the books, but all the authors get all the names. You see what I'm saying? That this is not necessarily the best way to get subscribers, because if they don't win and you get their name and you add them to your newsletter list, they're like, well, why am I on your list? I didn't win anything. So it's always good to have like something to give away to them when they do join your list on something like that. So there's a tip. But alrighty. All right. The last thing I did that I paid for, which is the thing that is like the most exciting to me. I should share my screen because I took a picture of it and I forgot to add it in. So I paid for, and I don't know, I mentioned this to Martin in a, him and I, we talk about marketing quite a bit about books. And I mentioned this to him a couple weeks ago. He's like, oh, I heard that that's not very good. Well, we'll see what happens from it. So I paid for a Goodreads giveaway. That was $119. Let me see if I can share my screen so I can show this to you guys. There's a couple of different reasons why the giveaways are, work well. Sharing my screen, so I'm trying to make sure they come up. So let me take off that banner. So the Goodreads giveaway, the way that works is you choose up to 100 books, how many you want to give away to people who sign up to get a copy of your book. With ebooks, it's 100 books. I think if you choose physical, it's maybe a different number, but I don't remember. It's $119 whether you're giving away a physical book or you're giving away ebooks. I decided I'm going to do the ebooks. I'm going to do the full 100 because it's going to get eyes, because everybody who looks at it, they're going to see it. And if people want to get in the giveaway, they sign up for it. And from what I understand, it automatically like puts it on their reading list, or I don't know what it's called on Goodreads. What is it called? Their shelf. So it's put on their shelf. When something is put on someone's shelf, when other readers follow them, they see what they're reading. They see what's on their shelf. They may check it out. So you get more eyes on it. Okay. That's the first good part that I see coming out of that. The second good part that I see coming out of the Goodreads giveaways is that, and this is my first time using it, so I don't know exactly how useful it's going to be. So I will report on that later. But the second thing that's supposed to come out of that is that when it ends, and it ends tonight, the Goodreads giveaways ends tonight. When it ends, all those who won will automatically get the book. I don't have to distribute it. Goodreads distributes it because it's linked up with Amazon. So it's taking the book from Amazon and sending it to them. So I don't have to do that part. I do have to do that for the library thing giveaway, just so you know, you have to give the book to them yourself. But it's also a good way to have a chance to interact with those readers and maybe get them on your email newsletter list, because you can't add them without their permission, and or get them to review in other places. But okay, sorry, backtrack. The Goodreads giveaway is that whoever does not win, they get the email that says, you know, something along the lines. Again, I have never done this, so I don't know exactly what it reads, but they get an email that says that they didn't win, but then they're given the link or something about where they can go to purchase it. So let me share this now. Did I not do it? I hit the wrong button, guys. Sorry. What I thought was interesting was how many people have added it to their list. Okay, hit the right button, Shannon. Can you guys see this? I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can make it bigger. How big is that? It's a little bit bigger. Okay, so you can see there. So Blood of the Lily is my first book on there. You can see to read. People have to read it is 251 people. Okay, that book has been out for like 2.5 years, and 251 people have it to read. If you look at Kirsten Scales and Feathers, 1,441 people have it to read. So, and it just came out today. It's been on pre-order for a couple weeks, right? A month. I think it was in December when I put it up. So you can already see it's already on people's to reads lists. A lot more than what it was for Blood of the Lily. And so I'm excited by this because I'm like, okay, only 100 copies are going out. Now, the actual number of people who've signed up to get the book, here is the actual giveaways here. So most recent giveaway, 1,545 people have requested the book. And of course, it ends tonight. So yeah, that's a lot of people. And I'm only giving away 100 copies. That means 1,400 people are going to get a notice that the book is now available for sale. So I think that is exciting. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Again, I'll let you know how it, you know, what can possibly come from it. All right. I think I've got to the end of all my notes. That's what I'm doing for launching a book at full price. Those are my ways. My wrap up for my ways. And let's see, physical is 10 last I checked. I was gonna say, I thought it was different for a physical. I thought about doing physical for a minute and then I decided against it. I only went one single time on Goodreads because I was looking up a better synopsis of a book. Yeah. I mean, there are people who don't like Goodreads. And I know when I was talking to Martin about what I was doing, he said something that he had heard that Goodreads was not a good place. Like a lot of authors don't like it. And I'd have to say I probably don't think it's really for authors, but authors can do things there. I mean, obviously you could do the giveaways and you can also, they have advertising there too. So, but I don't know much about that. Yeah, I don't like it. As a hub for drama. And I think that's what it is. Like for authors, we get a lot of the drama, like we hear about a lot of the drama. And so, but there are still readers who use it, and it's a good way to reach out to people, I think, and connect with readers. It's another way to get your book in front of people. That's the way I see it. And at the moment, I'm kind of relying on Goodreads for my reviews because I think I have like 13 or 14 reviews on A Curse of Scales and Feathers. I think I only had 6 or 7 at the time that my paperback went live on Amazon early so that my reviewers could go over and put their reviews on Amazon. I've done that in the past with my other books, worked out really well. My book always launched with like 10 reviews. My ebook always launched with like 10 reviews, which is really, really good. So I went and let people know that it was now, the paperback was there now and they can go leave the review, and only one person left a review. So I'm like, oh, and now I have like 13 or 14 reviews on Goodreads and still just one review on my book on Amazon, but I'm sure it'll probably change. Oh, drama, spill the tea. Yeah, the current one with an author that I don't know the name. Yeah, there. Was it Goodreads though? Was that TikTok or was that Twitter? I don't know. There's a current one where an author got really mad about only getting 3 stars and said something about not being woke enough or something. I don't know. I see some of it. I'm like, okay, next. I want things to be positive. I like positive stuff. Goodreads is for readers. Just don't look up your reviews. Reply to those reviewers because you are setting yourself up from so many bad things. I know I try not to Like I've never, I try not to, I do not respond to reviewers. So I don't say anything there. The creepy email guy. It was an email. Was it an email? No, there was this whole thread. I scrolled through it. I didn't stop and read it all. And I was like, there was this whole thread of just information of these people talking back and forth. No, it's kind of all over BookTube with authors behaving badly and all that. Yeah, that one. Oh, I'm not keeping up. Nope, you're not. Amazon's gotten so strict with book reviews that it's hard to get people to go on there to leave a review. Yeah, and there is that. There is, and I told all my reviewers, because I had quite a few people sign up to review the book. I told all of them, you have to have spent $50 in the last year. And I'm trying to remember what the other thing was. I don't remember, but I put it all in there. It's an email template that I just used to send out. Goodreads is the fake review author. The creepy author was TikTok. Oh, okay. I thought it maybe was TikTok, but I couldn't remember if it was TikTok, Twitter, or Goodreads, the latest one. Rachel reads, I think, an entire video going over it if you want to know what's going on. I'm okay. I see it. It's interesting, but I don't want all the negativity. I want to know what's going on now. Sure, go ahead. I said, I'd rather not have the negativity. I like to try and be more positive and stay in a positive space. This is why I stay off most of social medias unless it's deliberately to hang out with people first and foremost. Like now, same, Rachel. You can't tease with the drama and not spill. Well, I didn't mean to tease with the drama. I just said there is drama. That's it. X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah. Reads with Rachel at, yeah. All right. Well, that brings me to the end. Those are the ways of the author, caught up, all my progress I've made. I am pretty happy with how I've gotten, with my goals, and I'm hoping it's going to continue to have that progress. I hope you guys are also having good progress with your goals. I know it's just January. So a lot of us have a lot of, hype or energy. I mean, a lot of us have energy at the beginning of the year, and then towards the end of the year can kind of wane a little bit. And bye all. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.